It's been 2 years since my last video. It's definitely not going to take that long to make the next one. ASMR for me was always a really, really important thing. I'm very aware of its stigma and how a lot of people find it weird. So doing them myself, I guess it was a bit strange. It's a strange feeling to do them because I just listen to them, and I never thought of making them, even though I made the one video a couple of years ago. It just felt so awkward. I mean, I know it'll get easier as long as you keep doing it, but I don't know, it's just a weird kind of thing. And I know it's not a nice thing to say, because I know the community as a whole is always trying to boost themselves up, and I shouldn't say it's not weird. It's not weird. But I'm sure you know what I'm trying to say. And making these videos has always been something that I've wanted to do, but I just hadn't for the longest time. And I guess for tonight's video, audio anyway, I'll give you a bit of a rundown as to why I stopped at one video. Oh god, I sound like I've had a channel that's just been booming. I got one video, I need to shut the hell up. But ASMR is still important to me, and there's something I should have continued, but I didn't. And the reason why that is because for the longest time, and I've only just started to realize this now, but for the longest time, I haven't been okay. And I've recently learned through one of my clients at work that it's okay to not be okay. I've noticed in the community we're all a part of, the ASMR community, that a lot of what ASMR is all about, and I know this might sound extremely basic or straightforward, but what it's all about is about helping soothe anxiety and obviously help people get to sleep. For me, it wasn't so much about the sleep. I mean, it was nice, it was relaxing, but I found ASMR for me really helped calm me down, and I never knew why. It calms me down. I mean, I know it's all about relaxation and whatnot, but even when I was doing recreational activities, like playing on my PlayStation or even just photoshopping photos, I'd have everything on mute and just listen to different ASMR channels, and I would just feel a lot more secure, a lot safer, a lot calmer. And it became a bit of an addiction. But what I always questioned was, why am I feeling calmer? And the answer to that question was because I was very unhappy, and I had been dealing with a lot. Actually, no, that's not true. I hadn't been dealing with a lot. Instead, I'd been hiding or suppressing a lot of it. And it's only recently started to come to the surface. Now, I know some of you may have experience in this area and know what it's like to be downtrodden and sad, and then all of a sudden it just comes flowing out. It's different for a lot of people, I'm sure. Some people cry, some people have mental breakdowns, some people become very violent. Luckily for me, it wasn't a violent outburst, but this all started to happen earlier last year, I believe, or later last year. I was in the car with my girlfriend, and we were going to the gym. And when I got to the gym, there were no car parks. So I continued driving and said we're not going to the gym today. But she could tell something was wrong. She put her hand on my leg and asked if I was okay, and that it's okay, that there's no parks, we can just go home. On our way home, I had what she later told me was a panic attack, which was something really, really new for me. I never experienced anything like that before. I had to pull the car over. Once I pulled the car over, I told her I couldn't calm down. I didn't know what was wrong with me. What's wrong with me? I kept saying, what's wrong with me? I don't understand what's happening. And I started crying. I was shaking. I was angry and I couldn't calm myself down. But I think the most frustrating thing was not knowing why I was feeling this way, because this was completely new for me. And she calmed me down and told me what was going on. And it was such a interesting yet unpleasant experience. Now, some of you may have had panic attacks before and known what's going on. I think it's different for a lot of people. Some people have trouble breathing. I've heard, like I said before, some people have violent outbursts. But I think the most frustrating thing about it too was the confusion. I felt like this came out of nowhere. It just suddenly happened. And that's also what made it a bit scary. It was quite scary. It just happened. And I didn't know what to do about it. So I started asking myself the question later on, once I calmed down, and to this day, what has been going on? And when I stop and think about it, a lot has been going on in my life that I've always considered normal, but apparently isn't normal, isn't nice, can and would grind people down the way it's grinded me down. I hate talking about it because I don't want to seem like a whinger, like a whiner, and whenever I think about these sorts of things, I tell myself this is normal, and for some people it actually might be normal. And this is just what being an adult is about. But I don't know. I just don't know. I work 2 jobs, but for the longest time, my only job was at a radio station. I worked there from 2013 to now. I've done various things for the stations that I worked for, but most notably I am the traffic coordinator for Radio Brands, which means I write traffic reports, send them to my boss, who then voices them and tells you about the traffic that's going along our city and a couple of others. So definitely not surgery, but it's a job that pays alright. Problem is, it's 3 hours in the morning. Now, some of you may have worked in radio and you understand the game, but for those of you that haven't, if you're looking to break into radio, which, to be fair, is a cool gig if you get in, it's about who you know. not exactly what you know. You can learn what you have to know, but it's also about who you know. I can't tell you how much free work that I did, but for the longest time, I'd put my hand up for any sort of work. I was in the promotional team, I was one of the promo leaders. I'd do a whole bunch of free work, audio editing. I'd help people practice their on-air work. I'd do my traffic job. I even wanted to work as a producer for free. I really wanted to be a part of an on-air team, whether it was on-air or producing. Either was fine with me. I was just looking for a full-time job. From 2013 through to 2018, I was kept on a casual contract only. The only work I was ever given was my traffic work. Afternoon giveaways, going out on the street and giving people prizes for showing up to a location, or street work and promotional work. I tried so hard. I spoke to the biggest bosses of our company who told me I was doing the right things. I was told that if I did X, Y, Z, a certain role would be mine. Didn't turn out that way. In fact, they gave it to someone else who came straight out of a school with no experience. Despite the fact that I said I'd do it for free, they claimed it was the best financial choice. So I'm not exactly sure what that means. However, I started to get the picture that what that means is we don't like you. Which, to be fair, is okay. The problem is when you stay in an environment like that, it becomes extremely toxic. And you shouldn't want a job or work in a job where people either don't like you, you don't like them, or that doesn't want you. Now in my case, they don't want me. They don't like me. And I don't really like them. So the question is, what am I still doing there? Well, I'm there so they can give me money so I can pay my rent. However, it's only recently that I've started to realize and see this company for what they were and how they were treating me. I thought that what they were doing was in my best interests at some point, despite all the work I had been doing. That wasn't the case. And after 5 years, that can really take a toll on you. Mentally, I mean. And it's only recently that I have started to admit that yes, it has taken a toll on me. It's caused me to become, or to have, anxiety and depression. Now, there's a lot of other things to unpack in there, and I'm not going to go into a whole bunch of detail because where I'm living right now, it's damn near 11 o'clock. I can only film at this time. I finished work at 9, got home at 10, and now's the only time I can film something. So this is pretty much just me getting back into the routine of trying to make content and put it out there. And this is me learning about my mic, starting making videos again, and also just rambling regarding mental health. There's a lot that I've learned over the past few months. That it's okay to not be okay. And that's right, that is correct. But admitting that you're not okay is one of the most important things that you can do. You have to tell yourself, you have to be honest with yourself. If you're not okay, that's alright. If you identify it, then you can do something about it. I haven't been okay. I thought I was, but I haven't been okay. And leaving it is the worst thing you can do. The longer you leave it, the more it rots your brain. The more anxious you become, the more depressed you will become. And you'll start to take that out on people that don't deserve it. If you're anything like me, you'll hate those happy-go-lucky people that you see on social media, that you'll see on YouTube, talking about, just do what makes you happy. Do this, do that, be happy. Life is this. Wank, wank, wank. Unfortunately, they do have a point. Problem is, life isn't always going to be happy-go-lucky, candies and rainbows and wank wank wanks. They are right when they say, do what makes you happy. That's true, you should. That goes for your job, goes for your downtime. Hang out with friends that make you happy, for sure. But it's also very important that when life kicks you in the nuts, that you know that one, you're going to be okay, and you know how to get up and keep going. And that everyone at some point falls. And it's okay to ask for help. Now, I pride myself on my work ethic, and I always tell myself that I'm hard and I can do it. I can handle these hours. I can go the distance. And to be fair, I did. For the past 5 years, I haven't had a holiday. I haven't been able to take any time off. I don't take time off because time off means I can't pay rent. I can't pay utilities. I can't pay power, XYZ. Working on a casual rate means that you get paid for the time you do. I'm not on a salary. I don't get leave. Nothing. So I literally can't even afford to get sick because someone else will take my hours. That puts you in a pretty stressful position. Constantly worried, constantly worried. Like, am I going to have enough money this week? Am I going to be able to do this? Am I going to be able to do that? And when that hits you, things like worrying about a holiday, worrying about birthdays, worrying about this and that, it just doesn't matter anymore. All the nice things that you should be doing with your life, that you should have with your life, you don't worry about them. You don't look after yourself. To try and make yourself feel better, you do things for other people while sacrificing your own happiness or your own well-being. And although it may seem like a good idea, it does nothing but lead you down a path of destruction, as lame as that sounds. Now, don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with doing things for other people, but self-care is so important. Another thing I'm just learning about right now. Now, I know what you're wanting to ask. Have I left that radio job? And the answer is no, I haven't. But the plus side is I do have an afternoon job now. I work at a gym as a fitness and personal trainer, and it's a lot of fun. I really enjoy it. The people are lovely. The staff are nice too. And I don't have the same stresses financially as I once did, which is great. However, now that the financial stress, or the burden of it, has lifted slightly, I thought my problems would be over. But it does not seem that way. Sure, I don't have to worry so much about where my next meal's going to come from, but I still feel anxious a lot. I still feel very upset and angry all the time. And that has confused me as well. So why am I still feeling this way? I thought I solved the problem. When I was speaking to my girlfriend, I was wondering, I said to her, this should have been over. I solved the issue. I'm no longer in a impoverished state. What's going on? And she told me that what I'd been experiencing, whatever set me off was just the straw that broke the camel's back. And that everything that was overflowing from me right now was a build-up of a multitude of things that had been going on in my life for the longest time, and that my body and or my mind could just no longer take it. Naturally, I didn't enjoy hearing that because it made me feel a bit weak, to say the least. I like to think I have a strong will, and this made me feel like I was weak, that I had no control. I wasn't weak. I'm not weak. But I had lost control. And I'd been worn down by a multitude of things in my life, and it is time to start facing those things, dealing with them, so I can move on. Now these things, there's been a few, everyone deals with a lot of heavy things. I'm sure people can list huge things, huge events in their lives that have cause some sort of trauma, or they can point to some traumatic event that's happened. Everyone has them, but everyone also has a couple of big ones. My big ones would be the death of my dad, my sister leaving the country, and an abusive ex-partner. I'm going to go into these in depth in later videos because I'm starting to get really tired, and I think it is time to knock it on the head. I can't really see the computer screen from here because I'm lying on my bed with the microphone pretty much lying on me, but just another ramble videos. What I'll do is I'll just tell certain details and stories about what's been going on with me as ramble videos. Sure, they may not be the most exciting videos, nor are they role plays or accent videos and what's in my purse videos. Sorry, I'm not going to show you what's in my purse. I'm not going to let you watch me while I do my makeup either. Sorry about that. But this is helping me get things out there, which for me is a positive anyway. And if for some reason this can help you get to sleep, then awesome, good work. But, well, I'm not exactly going to let this microphone topple over while I fall asleep and just end up recording for the next 8 hours, so I'm just going to finish up tonight by reiterating what I've just said throughout this entire video. It's okay to not be okay. Make sure you recognize it, and once you do, small steps to help fix what's wrong. It's always a good thing to fix. No. It's always a good thing to self-reflect. And if something's bothering you, take care of it. Do not let it fester. Letting it fester does nothing but cause more harm. It's literally like having a cancerous growth and letting it get bigger and bigger and bigger. It will kill you eventually. Alright. Like I said, if this video helped you get to sleep, if it helped you relax, whatever, cool. No, I'm glad to have helped. If this video at all helped you think things over or made you think of things differently, that's also excellent. If you've got any questions, if you've got any advice even, whether it's about mental health, whether it's about settings on my microphone, if you think that would be better somewhere else, I'm completely new to both of these. I'm always willing to chat, I'm always willing to answer comments. This is just me doing something that I enjoy doing for a community that I really like, who's really helped me. And I'm going to keep doing it because I really enjoy it. And that's me done for tonight. I'll be back fairly shortly with some more content. But until then, see you later.